Goodness knows, you're my honeysuckle rose.
It was 1989, Keith Johnson recording, reference recordings, in a high school auditorium. So it's a different recording because it starts out a little slow and soft, and then it goes bang! big bang. So we're fully outfitted with a Luxman system here, connected with AudioQuest cabling, front to back, and I'm playing my CDs, which I travel with. We can stream through the Melco, and we can play vinyl as well. But these are just regular Redbook CDs. This is the Magico M6, big speaker for this space to give a lot of pressure. You know, this room is packed with people. Of course, it soaks up a lot of energy. So we didn't want to bring subs, so we brought our majestic M6, diamond-coated Burley's dome tweeter, which is fixed to this machine aluminum front baffle. This is a 6-inch carbon graphene mid-range driver, and then 3 10-inch drivers, actually they're 10.5-inch carbon graphene base drivers. This works in an independent sub-enclosure, which is shaped like a tulip. This is a carbon monocoque shell, like a Formula One race car. So it's one piece of carbon, layers and layers and layers, bonded, so it's about this thick. Freestanding, when I was at the factory in Hayward, I thought, oh, I'll pick this up, it'll be pretty light. I couldn't lift it. So similar to aluminum, it's incredibly stiff, it's got mass, and it's dampable. Everything else around this shell is all machined aluminum, which we do at the factory in Hayward. All of our products are produced there and shipped from Hayward. We're using a 3-point footer system, which is called the M-Pod. And the M-Pod works on constrained layer damping. So what that does is it takes mechanical resonance from the top or bottom, dissipates it to heat through this copper substrate. So we allow the speaker to be coupled to the floor, which you want. Any loudspeaker that's doing this needs to be coupled to the floor. If the speaker's going like this and it's trying to drive air forward, it cancels the effect. You get smearing, you lose bass. So the speaker is anchored on a 3-point footer system. It's a 400-pound speaker. You can still move them around. I did that this morning at 5 a.m., just a couple inches to get that much better sound into the room. All Magico loudspeakers are sealed. The port designs work. They're okay, but there's an inherent bump at around 50 hertz. So we don't want to have to work with base energy forward from the drivers and then deal with a 50 hertz bump in the frequency. So we want everything forward. There's nothing side firing, down firing. It's all energy forward. Speaking of constrained layer damping, behind this machined front baffle is an EAR thermal plastic, which they use in airplanes and aeronautics. And what it works on, constrained layer damping, it works on compression, just like the footer system. So the M-Pod has 2 blue discs on top and bottom of the copper disc and works on compression. When it's compressed, that's the constrained layer damping that wicks away energy. So behind this front baffle, the same material, top to bottom, side to side, behind this machine baffle is EAR thermal plastic that's compressed with 10 tension rods that run from the front to the back of the enclosure. So a tuning process for the M-series speakers is 118 inch-pounds to compress this front baffle against the rear spine to drain noise. Okay, we want to get rid of noise. So we want the enclosure to get out of the way of what we're trying to hear musically from the transducer. Because that's where the music is, right here. Not here. Okay. So really it's an enclosure design that disappears. And so it took a whole day plus this morning, a few hours to calibrate in a given room regardless of the quality, and this is just a meeting room in a hotel, but no excuses. We can find a point of neutrality for a speaker like this, connected properly with AudioQuest, driving it properly with Luxman electronics, and get this kind of sound performance with imaging that's perfect, where there's a ghost center channel, where the gain in the center channel is similar to the left and right, and that's when the speakers disappear. If I move this speaker back 1 inch, it destroys that. It destroys the coupling effect of the bass, so it won't sound correct. It won't give you that. So setting up speakers, we spend a lot of time on emails and phone conversations helping folks with that, but it really is a huge improvement if you take the time to set your system up properly. It makes a big difference.
Take a moment to tell us a little bit about the electronics.
Sure, well that's, I've got two guys here to tell you about that. This is John Pradel from Luxman Americas.
Hi.
We'll talk about that.
So we're featuring a system of our top range components here today. Starting with the source units, we've got our PD-151 Mark II turntable. It's a brand new model. This is actually the first unit in the United States. Attached to this turntable is our new